Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Bell to Bell with Bobby Blaze. I am your host, Professor Jeremy Vilmur. Joining us now, Arn Anderson's favorite enhancement talent, Double B, Bobby Blaze.
Out on the streets, that's where we'll meet. You make it right. I always cross the line. Round and round, Jeremy, round and round.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Double B here with you. Professor knew I was going to throw him out some lyrics from an old Rat song, and there's a reason for that, and we'll get to that in just a second, man. How you doing, Professor?
Well, in the words of Jimmy Valiant, Bobby, I'm low.
Low, Daddy.
Low.
Woo.
Yeah.
Mercy. Yeah, maybe it's time for Big Mama to come around that limousine and pick your ass up.
Well, so, the music video is well and truly dead now.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them why I put the Rat tune out there?
Yeah, well, Tawny Katane passed away yesterday.
Yeah, sad news.
Now, I knew she was in the Whitesnake videos, but what I was not aware of, and you just told me, is that she was on some Rat album covers.
Yeah, that was apparently her break was, she was dating a drummer, I think it's drummer, his name's Rob, can't think of his last name, for Rat, and she was on the first two covers of that before she started, I guess, dating, what's his name, David?
Coverdale.
Yeah, and done those videos on that car. She fucked the car, man,
yeah,
basically, and did those little gymnastics routine, if you will, very seductive routine, and man, just gone way too soon. I think she's only 59 years old, and man, she was just smoking hot back in the day, and we just sorry to hear that news out there in the world of entertainment, man. Like you said, the music video's been dead for a while to me, though. For a while now, I just don't watch a lot of them.
I don't think, besides like Lady Gaga, I don't think they make any.
Yeah. I think the last one I saw, and this is just off crazy. I think I saw like Wrecking Ball or something with Miley Cyrus, and that just came to mind because she was on Saturday Night Live last night with Elon Musk. But I think that might be the last damn video I watched when it came out. I mean, and that was just because I was with Melanie.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, she probably did the most rock and roll music video ever, Tawny Katane. And for me, this is just kind of that last nail in the coffin. Like, we're losing the people who were in the videos that were hot in the day. And, Bobby, here's a little piece I remembered this morning when I was dropping off flowers at my mom's. She was on the brief revival of WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, really?
She was one of the DJs. Yeah.
Yeah. Did not know that.
Yeah. Well, I think there were only 7 episodes of that, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, it was a fun episode we done around Thanksgiving on WKRP.
Mm-hmm.
We turkeys away. That was fun. So. Anyway, folks, if you're just tuning in to us, welcome to the program. We kind of have no topic. We're just going to have some fun today, man. We want to talk about a couple little things. And one of the things I just want to bring up, we're going to talk about a couple books here in just a few minutes. But this week we're supposed to have Vinny Benny, the author of Lance by Chance on. And I spoke to him this week, and then I spoke to the professor. We didn't really have time to prepare, but with today we're recording on Mother's Day, he had plans, and so we're going to have him on the show. I think he's penciled in for the 30th. Man, sounded really cool, Jeremy. I had a nice little 15-20 minute talk with him.
Oh, nice.
Looking forward to having him on the program. So that was pretty cool. He sent me his number, and I was like, we've been texting, you and I before this, and he had been sending you the information as well, because I think he wrote to the administrator first. And then, so he's going to come on, so we're looking forward to that. Mm-hmm. And then I had a real good conversation with my main man, Johnny Candido out there, man, Chris Candido's brother, the late Chris Candido. And he sent me a gift the other day, a book, No Gimmicks Needed. And he's going on vacation, and I said, hey, man, take your time. We're not going to get you on until about, any time in June probably, because we don't want to do authors 2 podcasts in a row. We want to add our top 10 in there, and we're probably going to have we spoke about we're going to do a year. The year was in there.
Yeah.
Definitely around July 4th for sure when we record, or that week rather. So, so we got some authors coming on. I've, of course, read The Lance by Chance, and I think you're finishing up now. Then I've already started in the Candido book, and I arrive on about page 56, 57, 58 when it comes to Smoky Mountain, talking about doing a power bomb. Now, I was intrigued. I was curious how he was going to do this because I knew the book was coming out, and no one spoke to me about it. And I was like, there are certain things you just can't leave out of his career, you know. Well, by God, they haven't so far. And it looked to me like they got the research. I think the other guy's name was John. I just spoke to him. He wrote me and told me to enjoy the book because I posted it. Let me see real quick here, Professor. I don't get his name right. Give me just a hot second here. John Cosper. John Cosper is his name. He listens to the show. He said enjoy the book. He does some really good research. He says he's a wrestling researcher. And it looked like he took everything that I wrote about the Suicide Blonde Chris Candido out of my book. He just kind of put it in his own words, you know.
Yeah.
And paraphrased here and there. That's looked like, to me, what it looked like. But I was very glad, and I thought it was really, really well done. And I'm up now to where he's getting ready to become a body Donna. So him and Tom Pritchard. He's got his big break, getting ready to go to New York.
That's Dr. Tom Pritchard.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Good soul right there, man. One of the good guys. Speaking of professional wrestlers, I'm going to throw this out there, Jeremy, and give them a plug. The Failure to Conform, the FTC, Art of Grappling, is going to have a wrestling show at the Rona Theater in Ironton, Ohio on Friday, May the 14th. It's going to be a student show. Let me tell you, these students are doing really good, man. There's a couple girls, a couple young guys, and they're really working their asses off. And I'm over there just kind of, supervise, keep an eye on them, give them some advice or what have you. And it looks like it's going to be a really, really good show. But in addition to the students, you'll recognize some of these names. I'm going to throw it at you. Misery's going to be on a card, a big monster of a guy, man. I'd love to see this guy get a break somewhere. He's a hell of a piece of talent. Big, strong, young guy. And good work ethic. I hope out somewhere, and I'm trying my best to find somewhere. He's going to end up going down to the Performance Center, probably is what we talked about. Casey King and Jillian Hall. Shout out to her. She's students and putting this thing together with the owner of the company over there. And then one of your personal favorites going to be on the show, and hell, I might have to record him and have him send something to you. I don't know. But Jock Sampson's going to be there.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Did you guys, a lot of sheep in this area or something, I'm guessing?
I don't know, man. Maybe. No, he sent me a text on, I don't know if it's personal on my phone or DM through Twitter. Either way, he's got both. And he just said, I miss you. Looking forward to seeing you. Let's have a beer together. And of course I will. My goal is to go in and say hello to everyone and maybe give a little speech, a little prep talk before the matches take place. And then I'm going up in the balcony, and it'll probably just be myself and a guy running a hard camera up there. And I can stay distance from him and wear my mask, of course. But it should be a good time. Get me out of the house. Back to a wrestling show.
Yeah, that'll be cool. It's
yeah. And,
so this week, real quick, I just want to say about Jock Sampson, I was getting really weird text messages for a while. Just shit like, Jeremy sucks. And then there's only one professor, Boris Malenko, all this kind of stuff. And that's when I realized you must have given him my phone number. Because that had to be Jock. There's nobody else that could have been, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing, man. A couple other things wrestling related. May 29th, the school, they're going to have Melina's coming to town, man. And she's doing a wrestling seminar. So if you're a wrestling student, not currently enrolled at this Art of Grappling School, it's $40, man, for at 10 o'clock. Tickets are almost sold out on that. If you're a student, I think the students are $20 tickets. But Melina's coming to town, man, on a Saturday at 10 o'clock and running a seminar for a good portion of that day. And I'm looking forward to meeting her. I've never met her, and also see how she runs her wrestling seminar.
Yeah.
But I think you'll appreciate this next bit of wrestling news. Got contacted the other day by ASW up in West Virginia. If all things go good, that's All Star Wrestling. They contacted me, and my man Shane Storm will be wrestling Jerry the King Lawler.
Holy smokes!
And so I'm going to possibly. I'm about 90% sure. Everything's set in motion, and I'm gonna manage Shane and go against Lawler.
Yeah, you just remind him of that time you beat him for the Smoky Mountain title.
Oh, well, that's what my promo centered around.
Yeah.
Shane gave me a little piece of his the other evening. I got to see him in person, and he gave me a blueprint for what he was going to throw out there. And then I'm going to throw back out there, I taught Shane everything he knows, but not everything I know. But the one piece of information I shared with Shane was how to beat Jerry the King Lawler, Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that. If it right now it's about a 90% go, I'd say, because it's not until August, and I'll keep people informed, and it's up in West Virginia. So I'm just taking care of all the driving arrangements and appearance arrangements and all that. So just a cat out of the bag there. Because
that's cool.
A lot can change between now and August. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but just getting that on the penciled in for now, but way to go, Shane. That's fucking cool. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And anyway, what else you got for us, Professor?
I got a question for you about Melina's seminar.
Okay.
Is there going to be like a full 5 minutes on how to get your boyfriend in trouble by making him blank Trish Stratus?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never met her. And I'm curious to see how she runs her seminar. She's good friends with Jillian, and they're bringing her in. They couldn't bring her in the day of the show, the 14th, and so they wanted to bring someone in, and that's who they got on the 29th. So
that's
curious.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, she had a pretty bright spot career there,
Oh yeah, good 20 years, been a businessman, and I think broke the top 100 in like 2009 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, she think 3-time women's champion. I don't have it in front of me right now. I had it pulled up earlier, her picture, but on the gimmick, the computer here. But anyway, I don't know. I think for these young students, the next opportunity to go and learn, though, from a veteran, like I said, Jillian's been doing a really good job with these young students. So be interesting to see.
Look, you can learn something from anybody who's been doing it for a while, and just to have the exposure to look, she's going to have picked up something you haven't. That's just the way things work. You know what I was shocked by, Bobby, that I discovered in the last couple of weeks here?
What's that?
The current NWA Women's Champion is that girl that got her head shaved with CM Punk and then got fired for being caught drinking a beer at a bar. That's her.
Oh.
Serena Deeb is her name.
Okay.
But I didn't know who she was, where she came from. Then it turns out she's been around wrestling forever, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'm waiting for them to put the strap on Thunder Rosa.
Well, it's kind of where it belongs, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I think. So, and we're going to kind of talk about that, putting the belt on the heels. We kind of brought that up. We did bring it up last week's episode. And I don't know I think a lot of our fans do get it. No one wrote me about it, but I was sitting here thinking about it. Whatever night you and I spoke, maybe that was Wednesday night, or Tuesday or Wednesday anyway. I started thinking about that. The WWE/F/E, what have you, they had Bruno, then Bachman, and Hogan. We kind of put that out there.
Yeah.
To each other prior to the show. And then in AWA, you had Gagne there for a while, but, mostly Bachwinkle. But NWA, like probably our favorite, through the years, is when they put the title on the heel, and the babyface chased that title. That's what seemed to work. That was the best formula. We were just discussing that a little. We got into it a little bit last week. You want to go into a little bit more this week?
Yeah, I do. That's actually an interesting thing. And, right off the bat, when you bring it up, I wonder if the NWA method works better in the NWA because your champion is going to member promotions where they are going to have a local babyface, but the WWF and the AWA
right
are just like touring versions of their own guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's an excellent point. And I think I don't want to, it's not exactly going to come out the way this man would say it, but Rip Rogers had a really good point about that, saying that he thought that the NWA champion was the best champion of all because he left the territory and went to different territories, had to work, putting up with someone's younger brother or the very close to the top baby face till we got there to the territory and had to work the baby face, in that main event. Also had to go an hour Broadway every night, 45 to 60 minutes and sometimes 90 minutes. I just heard someone, can't remember whose podcast it was, but Briscoe was going, I forgot how many, he was going 27, 28 days out of the month, and he was going like an hour Broadway 3 and 4 times per week, for an hour when he had it. So, and then again, I can't remember who I was listening to. I can't remember. It might have been. Oh, I know who it was. It's Ron Fuller's podcast. He said he even left the country during that month. This was back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. But he had to go overseas, and defend the title, and be back in the States in the next night or whatever it was.
Well, yeah.
So I think that's. But again, just that title, like you said, you stepped outside of. It was a large territory. With a lot of other territories that they represented, so they had to be the best,
Yeah, well, but yeah, when you think of like how the member territories in the NWA worked, they all had their local baby face who was typically chasing their local regional heel, who had the regional title, whether it was the U.S. title or the state title, whatever it was.
Right.
So, but then you bring through Race or Flair or whoever, and you throw your local hometown hero at them.
Right.
And, it's kind of surprising more of those guys didn't win, huh?
Yeah. And, the thing is, too, I think Flair even said, he only beat a few people at the figure 4, but a lot of DQs in there. And Race had a lot of Broadways, 1 hour did funk. They're in there just working, but the outcome of that match but the idea was that your local hero could beat. He actually had a chance for that, And I was going to tell you this too. This is just I had 3 shots at the NWA title, and the first time I got a shot against was right here in my hometown. I got to wrestle Chris Candido when he had the NWA title, and we wrestled here at the National Guard Armory, and then. Like I said, I was reading his book. He's up to, and again, that wasn't in the book. It just said he fulfilled his dates for the NWA when he had that title. He got, but then Severin got it off of him. See, they put on Severin for 4 years. So I wrestled Severin twice, once in Charlotte and once in Knoxville, Tennessee. So technically, I had 3 NWA title shots, man. But I wasn't penciled in. That's for sure. I'd have liked to been, but that was also at a time. Prior to them putting it on Candido, is when ECW, Shane Douglas, basically dropped it in the garbage and said this title's dead.
Yeah,
and named himself the franchise. Now a lot of people got hot about that, man, back in the day, but because of as we talked about here, the prestige of the NWA title. But what a fucking hot angle that was for ECW to do and for Shane to get over as the franchise, Business is business, and that it really hadn't been that active at that point when they put it on him. So, well,
no, you think about it was only being represented really in that northeastern area, kind of. And was it Dennis Coraluzzo or somebody was really the guy that had their hooks in it at that point?
Right, yeah.
And so when they booked Douglas to win, who I don't think Coraluzzo wanted him to win it, right? He kind of went along with it just to like be peaceful and go along with it.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
And then Shane just probably one of the coolest throwdowns of a title. I know it's only happened a few times, but when he just trashes it and then he elevates the ECW title to a world title.
Right.
That's
got over.
Yeah, that was big. That was a big deal. And and the cool thing there was, if you're gonna do it, it does make your world title a world title. If the world champion drops, says I'm not.
Excellent point.
Yeah, I'm not doing this, because that's how Vern did it too.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. So we just wanted to kind of establish that, put the title on the heel and let the babyface chase them. And you broke it down even farther for the regional when you're coming in. The regional guy was usually the regional champion that he got a title shot against when Harley or Flair or someone came through that area.
Yeah.
So that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. I'm going to throw this back out at you real quickly. I'm working on a third book, as you know, and that's called Hey Ref, That Was a Fast Count. So I'm got some notes this week. I'm trying to get a little bit more discipline, sit my butt down and write. I've got a lot of notes that I'm going over, but I wanted to throw this out there. Just in the last 2 weeks, I sold a book over in the UK. Now I've sold books there before, but someone bought a copy of Pin Me, Pay Me. And then also, I hadn't seen this for a while since it first came out. I sold one in Denmark. So if you're out there listening, thank you folks very much. I've seen them, other countries before, Germany, and you get your little Amazon pay stub there. They said they let you. It's on the publishing thing. You can see where the income come from, and it's like okay, not bad, man. Just to
no, that's
I think
cool.
We're reaching out. Of course, I Twittered out a lot, and that's what I was going to get to is give out a couple addresses here. And I don't know if I got it from if they're listening to the podcast, which I hope they are. Or maybe it's just, an avid reader or a wrestling fan that saw it on, an ad for Amazon or something.
Well,
but if you're a listener, let us know.
Yeah, I was going to say, that 98% of the people in Denmark speak, read, and write English.
Okay.
And Danish, but they all speak, read, and write English.
Okay. Well, I hope they understand English because I'm going to let everyone out there know this. If you'd like to get one of my books, Professor has it set up real nicely where the program gets a little bit of a kickback. And when I say little, folks, it is, but we are glad when we sell a book. So if you go to tinyurl.com/blazebook1, you can get Pin Me, Pay Me, Have Boost Will Travel. It's just take you right to the Amazon link. Appreciate you using that way to go through it. If you'd like to get a copy of I Kicked Out on 2, The Education of a Wrestler, the way the professor has that set up is real simple. tinyurl.com/blazebook2. And again, I appreciate the people out there purchasing the book. I know one of the students bought one last week off of Amazon. I had sent some down there to the Time Warp, and they sell them here in town. And that's always nice to at least have an outlet that you can put a physical book at, and that's just through business, wrestling fans, like that. Again, if you're out there and you did purchase it because you listen to this podcast, let us know. You can reach me at Bobby Blaze 744. You can reach the professor at the Geekish Cast. Or you can get a hold of us through the joint account, which is Bell to Bell Blaze on Twitter and on Facebook. Now, I'm not on Facebook, but Jeremy runs that and keeps an eye on it from time to time, I guess. But I'm more of a Twitter person. And so anyway, let us know if you're out there. Also, I had a question, Jeremy. That's my book plug for the week.
Okay.
Plugging everyone else's book. We might want to plug ours,
Yeah,
My question is this: do we have any female listeners out there?
According to our stats, we have a couple. Okay. But I would like to know, ladies, if you are listening, go ahead and hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what we could do to engage you more, or what you would like to hear from the show. Bobby, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Why aren't you calling your book "Ref, He Pulled My Mullet"?
Hey, Ref, he pulled my mullet.
Yeah.
Hey, man, that's all right. Yeah. Yeah, I told that story about Cleveland up here because I know what the fuck a mullet was. Yeah, that's good, man. Hey, Raffy, pulled my mullet. I might have to go. That's going to be a story in there, right? Got to put that in there.
Workshop it. Check with everybody else. See what they think. I think a title like that has some cachet, though.
Oh, dude, I like it, man. Well, I was just riding down. I had a working title for Pin Me, Pay Me, and a buddy of mine just said, "Hey, man, I got to take my car to Lexington. Do you want to?" This is like an hour and a half ride. He said, "Just do you want to ride down there and back?" He said, "Car will be in a shop about 30 minutes or an hour at the most, and we'll get something to eat and come back." I was like, "Yeah, hell, nothing going on here." And I was just reading some notes to him, and I had a note that said, "Pin me, pay me, have boostable travel," on like two different separate notes. And I just threw that out there, and he said, "Man, that sounds great, for what you did and what I read of it." He had been reading little snippets.
Sure.
And I thought, okay, so that's how that could. So, hey, Ref, he pulled my mullet. That may, what do you say, cachet?
Cachet. That's got some cachet to it, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Because the thing, I mean, when you look at that title, that's got a very like 90s pro wrestling. I mean, that puts you right there. It's probably Southern, and it's during the 80s or 90s when the mullet was the big haircut. Yeah. And you're talking pro wrestling. So, it just has it all right there.
Yeah.
Not only that, mullet's just a fun word to like throw around.
We talked about mullets last week, I think, with Brian Pillman Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I did see the first part of the Brian Pillman Vice TV thing. I haven't seen the second yet, though.
I have not seen the second yet.
I did not know that his first wife died like that.
No. Dude, there's a lot of darkness on that one.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things I didn't know. They done their research, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm anxious to see the second part. Even though we know how it ends, still, they left you hanging right there after, what was the vehicle wreck in Miami or something. I think that's just the way it went off. He just had a wreck in Miami, I think.
Oh, I think they were teasing that's how the next one was going to open. I think is what they did. Okay. I think so, yeah. Okay. But that was a hard watch, man. That was
yeah.
Dude,
like I said, it was on a Saturday night, and I saw it pop up my YouTube thing, and I thought, man, do I really want to watch this or not? And it was like 10 o'clock, and I was like, because sometimes those things take you to dark places, you know, and I was like, well, it might get taken down. I might as well go ahead and watch it. So I did, and it did get taken down, I think, on Sunday. And I think I texted you on Tuesday, or Monday, rather, someone had put it right back up. Turnbuckle or something, Turnbuckle titles or something, they ran it again. So it was up for most of the week on YouTube, if you don't get Vice TV,
Yeah.
So, like I said, I just happened to come across it. So I guess the next one will be out this Thursday. So, heck, I might look for it tonight or tomorrow on YouTube, see if it's up there yet. So,
speaking of... sorry, go ahead.
Please, go ahead.
No, I was just kind of rattling off some noise there at the end. Go right ahead.
No, I was just going to say that's... cannot think of who else they got coming this season other than Dynamite Kid and Plane Ride from Hell. I can't remember who else was supposed to be on this season of that. We need to do a happy side of the ring or something.
Yeah.
So I was just, I was going, would change the subject real quickly when I asked about the women. I was right. I was thinking about a couple of things I got to see while I was wrestling that you just sometimes you don't see normally. I don't know, but I didn't come across. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff, but I just kind of put up my notes. A couple of them I come across on the Country Music Highway, US 23, that runs north and south. I was heading down south. Imagine that, I was heading down south, baby.
You came across the ghost of Hank Williams, who was thumbing for a ride.
I was actually heading over to Virginia, not West Virginia. I was actually heading to Tennessee, and anyway, dude, I saw this lady with a sundress on, with no underwear on, out in her yard mowing her lawn. She about caught a fucking 20-car pileup.
Yeah.
It was on a sunny Saturday afternoon in the spring, and it's like, what? Who? And that girl knew what the fuck she was doing, man. traffic, back then, I think that part of 23 was only 55 miles per hour, but I think it was going about 25 miles an hour that day when the first guy came around that corner and went over that hill, was heading in that valley, woo! Because that's what you kind of do when you go over Jenkins Mountain over there in Kentucky and Virginia. If anyone's out there knows what I'm talking about, but it's she's just out there and it's see through, and you could it was nice. It was nice. I'll say that, man. Which reminds me of a West Virginia stripper story that I had in I kicked out on 2, and I met these chicks, and this older chick was kind of grooming the younger chick, and so I went up there on a couple of days later to where the show had taken place. I had actually given them a ride home the night before. No, on a Saturday, I gave them a ride home from the show. They only lived a few blocks from the building, so I knew the town. And so we exchanged numbers, and they called me on Sunday night, but my phone fucking died. But I knew they lived, so I didn't even bother calling. I just got up on that Monday, and I said, I'm going to go up there and hang out with them strippers, One of them had been a stripper, and the other was wanting to be a stripper, so that's the thing. And have I told you this is in West Virginia?
Yes,
because,
yeah. I'm waiting for that to become relevant to the rest of the story, but yeah.
Well, here it is. Here's the relevant of it. So... the girl says, so I just called him baby girl and Sue Bob, okay?
Okay.
So Sue Bob just basically explained her a little bit down on her luck and wouldn't mind a little donation for their time and services. Let me make clear on this matter. I have no problem making donations, especially if I'm getting a 2-for-1 at the price of one deal. But before anything can happen, Sue Bob says, I need you to run me to get a pack of smokes and over there by the food bank so I can pick up our food for the week. Okay, talk about your down and out luck strippers and future escorts. I think I've just hit rock bottom. By the way, did I mention this was West Virginia? Down on your luck strippers, man. What's worse than that? I don't know if that says anything for their stripping abilities or if business was just slow or what down at the strip club.
Fuck, isn't West Virginia like one of the top 3 poorest states in the nation? I mean, not a lot of disposable income. Coal mines are shut down, so you can't even tip them in coal. Keep the house warm.
So I took her. She got the smokes, and I took her downtown, a little small town. And she went in. She had some flip flops and some very short jean shorts and a little like a halter top, but covered a little bit more of her tummy, but no bra. And so she goes into the community food bank, and I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking I'm going to get fucking punked, man. Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for one of the boys to jump out of a camera and say, Bobby, we got you. But worse feeling than that was, I was like, I'm parked on this main street, one of the main probably 3 or 4 streets in that town. And I'm thinking, it's just a matter of time for the cops show up behind me. That's what's going to happen. And I started panicking. I turned my car back on. I went through a stop sign without stopping. I did stop the red light for a hot second. I went through it. That was on 60. So I took off through 60. It was about 3 blocks up to where you hit the highway of 64. And I said, I'm hitting 64 east and heading home. I ran the light there.
Oh, Jesus.
That was a left turn signal. I looked, nothing's coming. I turned left there. I go under the underpass. I hit 64 east, man. I didn't stop for about 25 fucking miles until I was out and away from there, and I pulled into a Sheets or something to calm my fucking self down. And by the time I got home, late another hour or so, and today I laid here on my couch, and I just started cracking up. I started writing the story for it, man. I said, you're the only fucking person to go to a stripper and not get laid at the house, and also be that damn down on her luck. So I just wanted to let you know about that.
See, here's what you should have done. You should have showed up with like a block of cheese, some hot dogs.
God damn, Jeremy.
And, fucking like $8 worth of groceries would have carried you for 7 or 8 hours,
Oh man, I could. I'll say this: they weren't bad looking at all. Honestly, they weren't 10s, obviously. But the young
Well,
girl
if you
turned
nail
22 maybe.
Hey, if you nail 2 5s, that's a 10.
Well, I think I would have I'd have probably got an 8.
Oh, hey, you know what? 8s are pretty fucking good,
Yeah, I probably got an 8 out of them too. The young girl about 22, I think. The older girl is 38, and I was still in my 40s. So Anyway, that leads me to something we're going to talk about. Another story called dying and a smiling. And so I said, I hope to fuck when I die. I got a stripper on one side of me, the smell of a greasy cheeseburger on my breath, and a smile on my face. That way, when people stare at the coffin and they start to talk, they're going to, Jeremy, standing there talking about the dearly departed over the casket, they'll at least have something good to say about me. I know they will, and they'll say something about you too, and you know it. But hell, give them something to talk about. Everyone has that usual talk, But I don't know what the fascination is, because someone say, hey, Bubba. Well, I just was talking to him down at the bait store the other day. He still owes me $10 from last year's football pool. I guess I'll never see that again. But, we just talking, Jeremy and I were talking off the air the other day, and just kind of getting to this dying thing. And you care if I share that with you, Jeremy? Share it with the audience? Because I have not stopped thinking about it, man.
You know what?
Killed me on it, man.
Can I do a story real quick about funerals?
Absolutely, man. We're just having fun today.
Yeah.
I just want the way you told me that, I just was like, oh, shit.
So Bobby, right about the time you and I were getting ready to start the show, my father passed away.
Yes, sir. I remember.
And my dad died of liver failure from alcohol abuse. A drug addiction and alcohol abuse have torn a fucking major hole through my family. These are no secrets. So my dad passes away. It was ugly. It was hard. It took a little while, and then we were getting ready to put the funeral together. So one of our second cousins gets a hold of somebody who gets a hold of me and says, hey, we can get the VFW hall for free, but it's a $200 deposit, but they ask you to, donate some money after that. So, okay, whatever. So I go down to the VFW hall, which is off in a part of Modesto that there's no sidewalk. There's no street lights. That's where a lot of the immigrants kind of move to when they first get here. So I get down there, go in, meet everybody, and they tell me, well, if you're going to have more than 50 people, you have to provide security. And I'm thinking, fucking every one of my dad's friends carries a gun. I don't need to fucking, okay, yeah, cool, whatever, So I give them cash, the deposit and all this stuff, and, get all set up, blah, blah, blah. So get down a few days later where we're setting up for the funeral, and before we're set up inside, there's already 50 cars in the parking lot. I mean, before we're at that point, there's already 50. Yeah. At the highest point, there were probably 400 or 500 people there. What was funny, two things really struck me about this. You're talking about how people have something nice to say or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there was this table towards the back of the room that had these guys that looked like they were Arabic, maybe. And I wasn't sure who the fuck they were, Okay. And there's like a bunch of them too, Bob. There's like 14 dudes sitting there, okay? And I'm just thinking, now my dad's friendly to everybody, so it wouldn't surprise me that he'd have Muslim friends or Arab friends or whatever, After we get done kind of doing
by the way.
Yeah. Oh,
go ahead.
Okay.
He drew a good house. That's good.
Yeah. No, he did. We should have charged admission. We would have done great. Well, one of those guys comes over with a couple of the others and he goes, oh, you're Uncle Cliff's son. And I'm like, yeah. And they were calling him Uncle Cliff, right? And I go, yeah. Okay. And he goes, oh, well, we own all the liquor stores in Ceres. That's the town my dad lived in. So we own all the liquor stores in Ceres. These guys were liquor store owners who found out my dad died and came to the funeral.
That's pretty respectful, man.
Yeah,
that's getting over.
I'm wondering how many guys my dad put out of work, I was like, Jesus Christ,
Oh, man.
So I get a call a couple days after this, and it's a lady from the VFW hall. And she goes, I heard there were quite a few people there. I said, never more than 50. She goes, the bartender made $1,700 in tips. I said, 50 very generous people. Very, very generous people. And she goes, well, would you like your deposit back? I said, nope, just go ahead and take that as a donation, please. She said, okay.
You go.
Yeah.
There you go. You did the right thing. Good karma, man. Put
Yep,
that out
exactly.
there.
But yeah, my dad had a fucking full house turnout. It was pretty wild. So Bobby, I don't know how you want to get into this. Yeah, you and I had a long phone conversation the other night, and somehow my preferred funerary practice came up.
Yeah. I was telling you about Steve Sharippa, motherfucks the world.
Okay.
The Talk of Sopranos. The Talk of Sopranos. He's got a list that when he's dead and gone, that Michael Imperial is going to read of all these people he wants to go motherfuck. Now he played Bobby Baraka on the Broccolo, or whatever it was on the Sopranos. But he said he's going, when he's dead, he's going to motherfuck the world, and that's what started it. And I just threw it out at you, and I said, I'm probably going to be cremated, and that's about all I got out before you started telling me what the plan is. So,
well, okay, so my ex-sister-in-law.
Stop thinking about it, man.
My ex-sister-in-law worked in the funerary industry forever. I mean, a very long time.
That's what you was telling me.
Yeah, and I always had this idea that I wanted to kind of go out the way like the Plains Indians did it. You build a little
pyre or whatever.
It's not even a pyre because they don't burn you, but yeah, basically a scaffold. Basically, they build a scaffold and they wrap you in
mouth at death.
Exactly, wrap you in a couple blankets. They throw you up there, and then eventually you and the blankets just kind of fall apart, and the scaffold just kind of falls apart, and you go back to the ground, and there you go. Okay. Which, to me, that sounded awesome. I'm like, that's exactly how I want to go. And my ex-sister-in-law says, Jeremy, they will never, ever let you do that. First off, you've got 8 days to, I can't remember the term. Basically, within 8 days, that body has to be burned, buried, or sealed away somewhere, okay? I said, all right, well, how about if I'm cremated and thrown at people I hate? Jeremy Vilmur says goodbye, and he just face full of fucking ash. I'm in your lungs forever now.
Man, when you told me that, I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I was just like, because I said something like, okay, I don't know if I just want to be like on an urn, on a mantle somewhere, or if I want my ashes spread out somewhere, Mm-hmm. And when you told me, you said, I'm going to fucking, I guess I'll have to be the one that does it. If you pass before I do, I'm going to have to take your fucking list of people that you hate, that you want to motherfuck, and I'm going to take a handful of your ashes. Now, some people may not get a whole handful. Some may just get a
sprinkle
pinch of it.
Yeah.
Sprinkle, yeah. Like Jeremy said, fuck you, But, dude, you just had me laughing so fucking hard about that the other day. And folks, we're just having just some fun today talking about probably something morbid or whatever for most of you all. But seriously, man, I just started cracking up thinking, man, I've never heard that ever before. I want my ashes thrown in the faces of my enemies. And I'm like, fuck, you know what? I don't even want any enemies, Jeremy.
Yeah, well, here's the long and short of that story, Bobby, is if you own a screen door, don't piss me off.
That's right, man.
Yeah.
That's right. It keeps flies, mosquitoes out, but by God, it ain't keeping Jeremy Vilmur out.
Nope. I'll come right through that thing like Adrian Adonis getting out of the closet, man.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Anyway, listen, man. I know we need to wrap things up. We didn't really talk about then again, we did.
Yeah.
You have anything else we need to go over this week? I know we're going to come out. Like I said, as mentioned, folks, we'll get back on our top 10 soon, our year end soon, like we did 1978, I think, back in December, November, December. We've done 2 of those at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And we've got an author coming the last of this month, if all things work out. Last Sunday of this month, we record him and put out. Just keep your eyes on you. Thanks for listening. Please share the podcast wherever you download it from. Let your friends know if they're wrestling fans. Today probably wasn't our best effort. We didn't have much time to prep it, but we've still tried to have some entertainment for you folks, and hopefully we did by telling a couple stories. Professor?
Yeah. Let's see here, guys. If anybody out there listening, if you are a wrestling promoter or a wrestler, and you would like to maybe arrange some time to come on the show and talk to us about what you got going on, hit us up on Twitter
I like
think
that.
I think we're going to start trying to open up to guests here and there.
Okay.
Just so we don't run into occasions like this very often. We're like, what do we talk about?
Backup plan.
Yeah. Bobby, I think we're almost a year since we've come back and we have not missed one episode. We have not been gone for 1 week.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done, I think you done one and I done one or two single episodes.
Yep.
But yeah, we have not missed. And of course, appreciate you editing and producing and getting us up on time every Tuesday. Sometimes it comes out late Monday, and I enjoy that, especially if I can't sleep. I just turn it on and get an early listen in, man. And it does not put me to sleep. That's not why I said that. I said it because it gives me something to do late at night. But usually the first thing on Tuesday morning, I wake up and I listen to it, and then I listen to it again later in the day just to kind of to make sure, okay, we're still grooving, man, So
yeah. No, it's I have been happy. I mean, over the moon fucking happy with pretty much each and every show we've put out.
Well, I hope the fans are of this one.
Yeah. Well,
and
you know
if you're
what?
not, right?
Yeah.
Fucking at Bell to Bell Blaze and let us know, man. Jeremy passed it on to me or something.
Well,
I don't know.
You better check and make sure you don't have a screen door before you send me too much hate mail.
That's right.
I have a long memory and a long fucking fuse.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Don't get Jeremy hot, folks.
Nope.
Get the Professor hot.
I will wait and wait and wait till you have forgotten about that shit, and then I'll come back at you. Well, Bobby, I think that's probably going to wrap it up unless there was anything we wanted to hit. I got a question for you as we go.
Okay.
And if you don't want to answer it now or you can't think of it, that's fine. We'll pick it up next week. But the top of your head, who is the most underrated in-ring performer? Now, this is specifically wrestling ability, not all around, not whatever, but just the most underrated wrestler you can think of.
Oh, man. Current or?
All time.
Probably two people come to mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Armstrong and Dean Malenko.
Oh, yeah.
Those two probably come to mind because just so talented in the ring. When you're talking just wrestling,
Yeah.
Just both of them so talented, and I knew them both and worked out with them both, and I know they got pushes. I know they both had really good bodies. Neither one did it outside the ring. Great interview. We know that. We discussed that before on the show. But as far as wrestling ability, those two could go if anyone. I'll throw Bobby Eaton there as well. Of course, he had a huge push at one point, but as a singles, he just I think in wrestling, not the same matches over and over, better than Flair in that regard.
Yeah.
So I go with those guys. I'll go with Armstrong first though. Just if I had to pick one, I'd pick Brad.
Yeah,
Brad,
he was great, and he definitely never got the credit he deserved.
Right.
For me, unsurprisingly, Dean Malenko. Now, here's the thing, though. I think Dean Malenko is the greatest wrestler of all time, or
right.
one very high on my list of just great wrestlers.
Yes.
So he would obviously be in there because once he got to the WWE, they just kind of they didn't know what to do with him. They just cut him loose. That's where he could have really been a huge star if they had known how to use him.
Yeah.
Kurt Hennig is my other one.
Yeah. I thought you might be going that direction.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking about it because I was trying to figure out. Mike Awesome was high on my list of people I think don't get the right credit for what they did, right? Because he fucking almost, was he 300 pounds and moved like a fucking 180 pounder?
Yeah, he was a big, strong guy.
Yeah, and he was awesome, but Kurt Hennig had a much longer career and never quite got to where I think he should have been either. And he wasn't just a great in-ring performer.
Yeah.
He was fucking great at everything he did.
He was. We had that episode, and my brother, he sent something to the Bell to Bell page on Henning, but he told me the other day we had dinner together. It was really nice. Cinco de Mayo there. We had some Mexican food and enjoyed it, and we talked about what guys talk about baseball, wrestling, whatever. And he said that match, you've mentioned it, but he said we was talking about Mr. Perfect, and he said, hey, did you know that Bockwinkel had that match with Henning? That was match of the year, I think, in '86. And Bockwinkel was 51 years old during that match.
Yeah.
50 going on 51, I think it was, or he turned 51. Because we was just talking about Bockwinkel, how over he was,
Yep.
I'm talking about some of the episodes that he really enjoyed, some of the most recent ones he talked about of us. He was putting over the podcast, and just that came up, where we've been talking about Henning in the past. And again, I didn't mean to, and so I'll here kind of justify myself now. The bumps that guy took, man, were incredible. He just took some tremendous bumps in the ring, outside the ring, but also realizing that all the great guys he got to watch growing up, and also being an athlete that he was, it was just, like you said, damn perfect,
Yeah.
But the other thing that kind of off that, talking about bumps, we brought this up before. That fucking Bobby Heenan took some crazy bumps.
Yeah.
And we talked about Ray Stevens a couple weeks back, too. Them guys did that bump without touching the fucking rope, going over on the ground, and just awesome stuff. I know we got kind of sidetracked there. I thought we was going to log off, but yeah. No, I think Kurt was he's great. But I think he got the right push. They done good with him.
I think. But I would have liked to have seen maybe like a higher profile world title run with him.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame that when he got the AWA title,
right.
That was
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Now when he was IC champion, the IC title was a fucking big deal. That was your workhorse title back then, but still.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Bobby, that was true.
Okay.
We're signing off, but I had to ask that question. Fans, if you've got an opinion on who the most underrated wrestler was, in your opinion, specifically wrestler, hit us up. Throw us a line on Twitter. Let us know. Bobby, anything before we go?
No, man, just take care of each other out there. Take care of yourself. And, man, hope everyone has a good week. I know I'm going to try to, man. So thanks for listening. Spread the word, people. It's like legs. Help spread the word.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm good. Good.
All right. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and wrap up. And with that, for the late Tex Johnson, myself, Professor Jeremy Vilmur, and you think Arn Anderson would call you one of the most underrated wrestlers? Arn Anderson's favorite enhancement talent, Double B, Bobby Blaze. Bye-bye, everybody.